Is it like that every week? Is that open mats on every Sunday now?
Every Sunday, yeah. It's open policy. Doesn't matter what gym you're from. It's free as well. Just we get a lot of visitors in. And it's out like that every Sunday. Just push the pace, hard rounds, constant. I mean, you can come if you wanna drill or you've got some stuff you wanna work. Then by all means, it's an open mat. You know what I mean. You feel free to do what you want. Do as many rounds as you want. Sit some out. It's always just good. And there's always a really good mix of people on the mats. Some world class competitors in here. You know what I mean. Amana Lim, he's gonna shock a lot of people this year. He's just got a purple belt recently, but he's a monster and he's small. You know what I mean. Ellis Younger. Jordan Cooper, some amazing grapplers. You know, Andy Sill, great grappler. Some high quality lads on the mat, and we get a lot of guys coming from Scotland and stuff now, so it's always fun, you know.
Do you like that anyone can turn up and it's not like there's no sort of politics between gyms and all that sort of stuff? Anyone can turn up, anyone can train.
Yeah, that's it. I feel like when you put that kind of open door policy, everyone just levels up. You know, it's like different body types, and especially when you've got a gym that's like train as hard and as often as all the guys in here do, you kind of get used to people's patterns and similar attacks that they kind of like to set up, and you can kind of negate each other's styles a bit. But when it's fresh people coming in, obviously it's a fresh eye to a new style, you know what I mean? So it kind of it's always something different, so you can try different stuff, and some of the stuff that stops working on guys' knee, you can try, and it's fresh again with new people, you know, so you can hit some of the older setups, and it's always fun.
I feel like when you train with the same guys all the time, you sort of build up the same patterns because you know what each person likes to go for, and training other people, it's sort of different expectations.
That's it. I mean, people start getting wise to your traps and stuff, don't they? So it's always good to have fresh people on the mat. It's fun.
Yeah. I think I've heard you say before that you started training at North East when you first, like straight away when you first transitioned to MMA, like years ago. Is that true? Or?
It was kind of so I was training Nogi at TFT for a long time. MMA gym that I trained full time at. And I started doing privates with Ellis. Me and one of the other guys I was training with used to come through and get privates with Ellis in the old gym. And then that's when I became friends with Ellis, and then started training at the old place all the time, and then started trying.
Ellis came down to TFT?
No, I went to Ellis. He had a small little gym in Washington. It was before here. It was like this little room upstairs in this place. And when I went there, it was a different thing to what I was used to, because I was used to MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, and then I came there, it was a completely different thing, and it just blew my mind. I was like, whoa, like this is sick, I love it, you know, just aggressive, constantly hunting submissions and stuff like that, and I loved it. So started training with Ellis all the time, and then me and Ellis started helping us with a lot of my fight camps, and just put loads of time into me trying to develop me, and then started training more and more, and then started training more on the gi and stuff, and then I fell in love with the gi, you know what I mean, and then just been training here loads with Ellis like the past God knows how long I've been here full time, pretty much, you know what I mean? Just love it. And since I went away to Norway for a little while, and then when I've came back, it's just been every single day, just pushing it hard, you know, just getting ready for every competition we can get, any matches we can get, just trying to jump in them all.
Yeah. I feel like it's been a bit of a crazy last few years. Obviously, you had the fight with James Gallagher, which was cancelled multiple times, obviously for various reasons. Yeah. Then obviously COVID happened. Everything went completely out the window again.
Crazy. Yeah.
What have these last few years been like for you?
It was wild, to be honest, because the COVID and all that came. My fight had already been postponed a couple of times, and then it was just like every time it was less motivation every time. You know, I was trying to train hard and just something. It was always there's just something more and more happening every time. Like, I lost my mother in the process of all this. She died, and my dad's mum died in the process, who I was really close to as well. And it was just a rough time. So obviously I had to have the fight with James, and I rescheduled. I kind of used that as my little thing to kind of put all my attention in, and to try and get over all my personal demons and all the hurt that I was feeling. So I just used that fight to kind of just get over that. So it was constantly in the gym, and then obviously the fight happened. The fight didn't go out the way I wanted it to do, you know. I feel like I had a good plan for that fight and just didn't execute it. But it's a game of chess, and when you're fighting good guys, you know what I mean? It's one small mistake against someone like that as well. You're going to get capitalised on, you know, and I made it. I did make a mistake, you know, and got me back choke, got choked as it was, and it went the way it did, mate. And after that, I was kind of sour a bit, you know. I was just like, I was at that point. I remember even in the fight, it's crazy. It's the only time in my life I've ever felt like this. And I just remember, like, mate, like, if you watch, I'm not a quitter at all. If you watch me fight with Nathan Grayson, I was in the depths of hell, getting my face smashed in, my face was bust open, getting my bell rang every single shot, just world of pain. I cut more than a stone in the bath the night before that weigh-in. There's no quitting as ever. And I remember in a fight with James, and I remember just thinking, what's the fucking point of me being here? Like, I was out of love with it at the time, and it was just, I just needed a break, you know. So I took a year off. I took a year off training pretty much, and I ended up going away to Norway for a little while. And then I trained, it was just at the end of my time in Norway, I trained at a gym, and I thought it was going to be horrendous, and I went there and I ended up coaching a little bit of the session with a coach there, and I rolled, and I had some sick rolls. It was in Norway, yeah. And the guys were like sick, entering in the legs, and I was like, whoa, these guys, I didn't expect them, some of them were really slick, you know, and I had a really fun time. I thought, what am I doing? Like, this is what I love in my life. Why have I been away from this? I took a break when I shouldn't have took a break. That's when I should have went in more. So when I come back, I just spoke to us. I was like, mate, I'm coming back and I'm just going to get after it every single day. I was in the most unfit shape in my life. And Alice was like, look, there's a grappling competition in 2 weeks. Do you want to do it? And I was like, fucking, I'm coming from the most unfit shape in my life to compete in 2 weeks. He was like, you'll be fine. We'll just get after it for 2 weeks. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Entered in, and then obviously I got to buy through the first round. Then I submitted both guys and won it. And then that's what I said. Just from there, I was like, right, Nate slacking anymore now. I was just training every day. Just, like, you seen what the session was like there, just super hard pace, non-stop, constantly. Just push it and just enter us in everything I can compete in. And then that's when I took a coaching spot just at a local gym near mine, local rough house, just so I can try and focus on my dreams and just compete full time. That's all I want to do. I feel like any time I haven't got the gym in my life is when I kind of fall off the track, you know, and I kind of get in the slippery slope. And when I train full time, I'm like, my mindset's amazing. I feel great. I feel like I'm a better person. I feel like I'm a better father. I feel like I'm just more switched on. So it's like, it's stupid that I've ever, just in my own personal dreams, as everyone gets, you know, I've just been a bit self-destructive at times. So now I'm just glad that everything's back, and I've just got the fire inside of us again to compete, and all I want to do is just represent North East Jiu-Jitsu. I just want to show everyone what I'm about, you know. I'm not bothered about who is a stylistic nightmare match for us, or so who's a better on paper than us. I just want to compete against everyone every single weekend. I would go to somebody's gym on a weekend or weeknight and compete against somebody in the gym. I'm not bothered. I just want to compete full time. I feel like that's when I shine, when I'm fit and when I'm pushing that pace. I feel like I'm a hard opponent for anyone, really. I feel like I'm quite elusive and I'm a bit of a nightmare, so I feel like I'm ready to show people what I'm about, you know what I mean?
How would you describe your style of jiu-jitsu?
I would say it's aggressive, kind of scrambly, heavy wrestling based. Like, I like to push the pace, I like to scramble a lot, and I feel like if there's something there, I'll jump on it, whether it puts us in a bad position or not. I'm not bothered. I feel like I'm exciting. I feel like sometimes I might make mistakes or give people gaps to scramble, but I'm not bothered, because I just think, like, I'm not a positions kind of guy, you know. I'm not going to try and stall it out. If I'm there, I'm attacking the whole time. And sometimes it doesn't pay off, you know. Sometimes I end up in a bad spot, but fuck it, man. I just want to just get in there and have people enjoy my matches, you know. I just want to push the pace properly and just have people enjoying it. That's it. So I would say a super scrambly style, if that kind of makes any sense, you know.
No, that sounds very entertaining.
Hopefully, that's the aim. That's my aim there for sure.
Yeah. Do you think MMA is something you'll ever revisit in the future, or is that something that's behind you now?
Yeah, never say never, mate. I've always fought. I've had 41 fights altogether now. Fighting's in my blood. It's all I've ever done, you know. But I just feel, for the most part, I feel like for me, there's so many cons to outweigh the pros at the moment for me. I mean, like, the fighting aspect of it is, I know you hear it a lot and it's a bit cliche, but that is the fun part. Like, mate, you get in there and have a fight, you know, even in a loss, you're still glad you've done it after, but it's the camp, that's what's the wear and tear on your body, the starting, for me personally as well, man. I'm 6 foot, I fought 61 kilos my last however many fights, you know. It's too much. I'm too big. Like, if you look at the state of us, like, on the day of the weigh-in, last time when I fought James, when I did an interview before my fight on Channel 5 just after the weigh-in, I didn't even look like me. It's just disgusting, and it's like, what was I doing? And even in the fights I've won, I remember, like, I watched some people say, oh, this and that, and I remember thinking in my head, like, I know what I felt like in that fight, and I felt fucking horrendous, you know what I mean? But it's like, live and learn, mate. And now it's like, never say never. If it was like to fight a legend, or, you know, if I would give myself the right time and I knew I had a good time frame to fight somebody who are like a pioneer who I've looked at, then I would see it straight away, yeah, I'll fight them. Or if it was like a really good person, it was against a good guy, then yeah, I would do it. But aside from that, man, I'm happy to compete in jiu-jitsu, and I'm hoping that, like, I can get some of my old sponsors back on board and just promote them and train full time and really get after it. I feel like I'm at a good age now. I feel like I'm hitting my prime. I'm 30-year-old. I feel like I've got loads of good years to really get after it and improve and learn and fix holes in my game and just represent Ellis and really just do the gym proud. You know, I feel like I can and I feel like I will. So.
Yeah. Did it almost come as like, coming from a boxing background, did it almost come as a surprise to yourself how much you enjoyed the grappling?
No, mate, it was crazy. So I came from a boxing background. I was open class. I won national titles. I beat some really good kids. I fought some world class kids. So from me coming from that and being where I was in boxing at the time to then coming into the sport and then watching them and then when I see people sport, fucking hell, like you would be naive. You would watch the fights and think these guys are the striking ability, and I'd be like these guys, especially when they're trying to box, I'd be like, whoa, like. I should go in there and piece these up, and then you're getting chucked down and just getting mauled. And it would be like, what the, like, how is this happening? You know, and that's why it breaks a lot of people. Like a lot of people do it, and they can't handle that little ego shock of like, where you know you've got into small guys coming in tired and you're not. And with me, it was the opposite. I did it, and I was like, I'm shit at this, and I want to get really good at this. So that's why I just got addicted to it, and just that was it. As soon as I did it, and even though I started MMA and I was fighting in MMA for so long, it was the grappling aspect of it that I loved the most, and that's how I won most of my fights. You know, I was come from a striking background, and I won the majority of my fights by submission. You know, I've won 3 of my first 4 semi-pro fights by submission, and I won 6 of my 8 pro wins by submission as well. You know, 2 TKOs and 6 submissions or something. So. Yeah. A lot of them were submissions, so I love jiu-jitsu. What
was your first time on the mat like then, getting chucked around?
It was sick. I'll never forget it. It was good because I rolled with a lot of good guys, and then I was getting submitted. But I remember we drilled arm bars that session, and I remember there was another guy who started the same time as me, Johnny. And I remember I submitted him with a couple of arm bars. So I was like, "Fucking, I've done one session, and I've learned something new." So I was like, "I'm gonna just." That was it. I just loved it. You know what I mean? It's amazing.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you chatting to me, mate.